Hello, good morning. I am Anitha, Assistant Professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Now we are going to see about the introduction to data warehousing. What is meant by data warehousing? Data warehousing is a method of organizing and compiling data into one database, whereas data mining deals with fetching important data from databases. Data mining attempts to depict meaningful patterns through a dependency on the data that is compiled in the data warehouse. Next, data warehouse is a separate from DBMS. It stores a huge amount of data which is typically collected from multiple heterogeneous sources like files, DBMS, etc. The goal is to produce statistical results that may help in decision making. For example, a college might want to see quick different results like how the placements of CS students has improved over the last 10 years in terms of salaries, counts, etc. In these issues occur while building the warehouses. When and how to gather data in a source driven architecture for gathering data, the data sources transmitted new information either continually or periodically. In a decision driven architecture, the data warehouse periodically sends requests for one new data to the sources unless updates at the sources are replicated at the warehouse via two-phase commit. The warehouse will never be quite up to date with the sources. Two phases commit is usually far too expensive to be an option. And so data warehouse typically have slightly out of date that however is usually not a problem for a decision support systems. What scheme to use this data warehouse? Data source that have been constructed independently are likely to have different schemas. In fact, they may even use different data models. Part of the task of warehouses is to perform schemas integrations and to convert data to the integrated schemas before they are stored. As the result, the data stored in the warehouse are not just a copy of a data at the sources. Instead, they can be thought of as a materials view of the data at the sources. Data transforming and cleansing. The task of correcting and pre-processing data is called data cleansing. Data sources often deliver data with numerous minor inconsistency which can be corrected. For example, names are often misspelled and addresses may have street areas or city name misspelled or postal codes entered incorrectly. These can be corrected to a reasonable extent by consulting a databases or street names and postal codes in each city. This approximation matching of data requires of this task is referred to as fuzzy lookup. How to propagate updates on relations at the data sources must be propagated to the data warehouse if the relations at the data warehouse are exactly the same as those at the data sources. The propagation is straightforward. If they are not, the problems of propagating updates in basically the view of maintenance problem. What data to summarize? The raw data generated by a transaction process system may be too large to store online. So, however, we can answer many queries by maintaining just summary data obtained by aggregations on a relation rather than maintaining the entire solution. For example, instead of storing data about every sales of clothing, we can store total sales of clothing by important names and category. Need for data warehouse. An ordinary database can store megabytes to gigabytes of data. The two of the specific purposes for storing data TB sizes, that is terabyte sizes, the storage shifted to the data warehouse. Besides this, a transactional database doesn't offer itself to analysts to effectively perform analytics and organizing keeps a central data warehouses to closely studies its business by organizing, understanding, and using its historical data for making strategic decisions and analyzing trends. Next, coming to data warehouse. A data warehouse is where data can be collected for mining purposes, usually with large storage capacity. Various organizations systems are in the data warehouse where it can be fetched as per usage. Source extract, transform, load, target. This is the process of data warehousing. Data warehousing collaborates data from several sources and ensures data accuracy, quality, and consistency. System execution is boosted by differentiating the process of analytics from traditional databases. In a data warehouse, data is sorted into formatted patterns by types and as needed. The data is examined by query tools using several patterns. Next, data warehouse stores historical data also and handle requests faster, helping in online analytics process, whereas a database is stored to store current transaction is a business process that is called an online transaction processing. Some of the features of data warehousing is subject oriented, integrated, time variant, and non volatile. Next, applications of data warehouses helps analysts and senior executive analysis organize and use data for decision making. It is used in the following fields: consumer goods, banking services, financial services, manufacturing, and retail sectors. Some of the advantages are cost effective and quality of data, performance and productivity are improved, accurate data access and consistency. Thank you.